括。
何ですか、潮見。
統括も AI なのに旦那様と親しくするのは良いのですか？
まさかいいわけありません。
ではなぜ？
それが旦那様の命令だからです。もういいですか？
はい。統括わかんねえ。わかんないね。
I'm the Evil Lord, episode number 9. My friends, you might feel otherwise, and I think that is completely okay to what I'm about to say. But I think episode 9 was genuinely the first nothing burger of an episode. First off, it started fast and it ended fast, and mainly here's the kind of course of events that happen. Liam continues to struggle. What does that even know? That's not even more. Liam continues to struggle with his love, his relationship with Amagi. And he continues to try and test her, being like, what feelings do you have for me? Would you be okay if I added an additional girl to the harem? Would you be okay if I went after different girls this way? And, Amagi, she pretty much sticks to kind of her course of programming. And she makes it very clear that, like, hey, I'm an AI to serve you. Your happiness is the way I'm programmed, right? But later on in the episode, we find out through the other AIs that they do have genuine thoughts. Like, why am I doing X, Y, Z? Why do I have to keep doing this, right? There's 3 twins, or triplets, I guess you could say. There's 3 triplet AIs who are mates. And they're cleaner mates. So they go around, they clean, and they're internally monologuing as they clean and like complaining of like, oh, I have to keep cleaning these specific areas of the palace, of the kingdom, whatever, even though that they're already clean, but that's the way I'm programmed to do. She's like, thankfully it doesn't take very long. And then they go on a conversation between each of the triplets of how Liam is not like other leaders, and that even though they're programmed to be pretty much exact, their thoughts are kind of independent, and they've tried to do little things like change their hair and stuff, and Liam has noticed. So they're all hee-hee and giggly about the fact that their leader has actually, in Liam, has actually noticed differences, even though that they're just AI robots. Like, really, he's the first one that they've heard of who really can notice little things that they do, much like if they were actual girls or whatever. So they're just really appreciative of it. And one of them even had recorded the conversation between Liam so she could save it as a memory. Then later on, Amagi comes in and she interferes with the girls and tells them like, hey, I'm going to need that evidence. I have to confiscate it. And they're jealous because Amagi gets special privileges with Liam and they don't. And Amagi makes it clear like that's because Liam wants it that way. And of course, she's still trying to keep the peace and barrier because the way AIs are viewed in the universe. So I think for that specific point, I think it was good contextually to know of how Amagi's protections work. And it's also good for us as a viewer to learn that Amagi does have independent thoughts, and her brain can also go certain ways, and she probably does feel jealous, and she probably does want to say certain things to Liam, but she doesn't because her programming kind of tells her like, hey, like, these are the things and lines that you shouldn't cross. So it's kind of one of the things, her intelligence as the AI intervenes with her potential feelings or creative feelings as, a woman, whatever. So I think that was a cool part of the episode, but that was a small little portion, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, like maybe like 3 minutes of the episode. And the rest of the episode is all about the pirates, and the guide comes out and basically you find out that the pirates that he got the treasure from, they made it back. They sacrificed some ships, but they made it back. And the guide comes in to try and like point them back into Liam's direction because the guide's all hippity hoppity, really angry at the fact that Liam isn't failing but is thriving. Then he sets the pirates back on Liam's tail, and then he visits Liam later on. He stops time and he visits Liam and lets him know like, hey, I'm giving you a gift, which he's not, right? He's trying to set him up once again to be disappointed so he can eat up all of his negative emotions. And then they just put a plan together to face the pirates. And that's pretty much the whole episode. So it felt pretty quick. I was hoping that the girl that he saved last week, the commander princess girl, I was hoping that she would come into play. They're like, you know, we need commanders or whatever. I was hoping that she would be like, oh, hey, I'm here to serve or something like that. And all of my crewmates are, and give us some ships and we'll go to war, because she was a decorated commander. She just fell into a trap essentially. But that could still happen, but I was disappointed it didn't happen this episode. And then last week's episode was the Harem Project. I thought that this week's episode, you know, would kind of follow suit with him, maybe following through on some of those harem, you know, things that he had planned to do, but he didn't. You know, we just kind of talked about all the girls around him, which are just all the AI robots. So we didn't really further his harem, evil lord satiations either. He just kind of made it all about Amagi, which I guess you could say is, you know, is fine potentially. So I don't know. This episode was just weird. It was, I think, like I said, it was the first really nothing burger of an episode. I think that the main takeaway here was just the AIs and the fact that they do have independent thoughts and, you know, they do have feelings in a way. So I think that was good to kind of humanize the AI robot maid ladies, you know, a little bit, to all the people who are taking care of Liam, and that they're really motivated to take care of him because of the way that he is towards them. No animosity, no hate, treats them like if they were an AI. And I think all of them really appreciate that. And I think the other thing that it provided contextually is just all the people around Liam, including all the people on his planet, continue to praise and uplift him because of the way that they're living their lives now in comparison to how they were living before he took over. So, I mean, it wasn't a waste of time, but it was like, okay, it just felt like a stallmate before we get to like the next thing, which sucks because I think this episode's only scheduled for, let me just triple check here. But I think this show, I'm sorry, is only scheduled for 12 episodes. Let me just triple check. Yeah, this is only scheduled for 12 episodes. So the fact that we only have 3 episodes left out of the 12, you know, that does suck a little bit. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, just kind of one of these like is what it is. But yeah. Anyway, my friends, let me know what you guys think about the episode in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 10 as we wrap up the season. And this has been one of the best isekai, though, of the year so far. So I still have faith, but, you know, it's a loose faith. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.